Good morning. Time for Quick Insights, Big Impacts with Cass Concepts. Cassie, you bring 2 decades of experience. You've worked with countless businesses, organizations, and individuals. You're a small-town girl, and you got a passion for these businesses, don't you?
I do. I was born and raised in this area, was in Sullivan, and, I'm an alum of Lakeland and Eastern, so it really hits home for me to know that I can do what I love. And, the skills that, I think I bestowed upon me and be able to help businesses. My parents ran a business when I was growing up. And I think it was really important that there was a lot of lessons that they had to learn the hard way. And so seeing their business struggle and seeing how their business was because taken advantage of only because they didn't have a marketing background. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that there's a lot of businesses in our area that your industry. So you know how to be a baker, you know how to operate your tax firm, you know how to do your skill, but then to say, hey, are you a master of marketing on top of it? That's a lot.
And that's what Cass Concepts brings to the table. And businesses right here at home may have the tools, but who's driving the strategy? That's your department.
Exactly. There has to be that human factor to it. And it's something that we hear a lot at the marketing firm, that oftentimes, there's a lot of things, devices, there's so many apps, there's so many tools that make sales, that make marketing, make all of these pieces and components far more efficient. But you still have to have the human piece to it. And, the other day, Bob, I was traveling to a client meeting and I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast. And one of the things that she brings up is how we have shifted into what's called the attention economy. Mm-hmm. So more or less, we always have a device on us. You get a weird feeling if you leave your cell phone at home.
Yes.
But more or less on average, a person is spending about 7 hours a day on their device, doing something in some way, shape, or form, beyond just sending a text message and making a phone call, which averages to 59 hours a week that we're on these devices and utilizing these apps in some way, shape, or form. But ultimately, when you have all of these devices, from a business perspective, are we actually messaging and talking to our potential clients the way that we should? So I know what we hear from a marketing firm perspective is someone will say, yeah, I dabble in this kind of advertising, or I've done some ads here and there, but consistency is not there. So they'll run some ads for 4 weeks and they pull them. And I didn't get instant gratification. I didn't make millions of dollars after a 3-week campaign. And so for us, we step in and we say, okay, we need to create a strategy that has a long-term lasting effect on your business.
And everybody's different, right?
Yes, exactly. And sometimes you say, you hear that this success works for one company, this worked for another. That doesn't mean that it's going to work for your business. We hear this from the influencer standpoint. My goodness, everyone says, well, do I need to be on TikTok? Should we be doing TikTok dances? That's not going to sell it, What we do want to say is that marketing and social media should be a showcase of your corporate culture. It should showcase who you are as a company, but it has to be done right. So not every platform is for every business. Just like not every marketing strategy, not every advertising tool is for every business. Because with this attention economy, we're constantly trying to get your attention, but we have to speak the language properly. We have to connect with you the right way. And that also takes a human being. Mm-hmm. We hear this all the time about what's going to happen with AI. AI is taking over every single industry. No, there's still a person that is operating that element to it. And a person has to know the strategy of your business, the ins and outs. And that's what we do. We ask all of these questions and basically then become this department for you. So at usually less than what it would cost to hire one marketing director, mm-hmm. you are able to hire an entire marketing firm with videographers and photographers and content strategists. And we're able to put a content strategy together or an advertising campaign together, and we play well in the sandbox. I think that's the other piece to this that is really vital, is that you may have, an advertising director or marketing director on board, but their plate is full. And so when you have this attention economy that's like, hey, every platform is crying for somebody's attention. You need content here. You need a video here. You need photos going up here. We can help with that. So that outsourcing oftentimes of your marketing department is one of the biggest ways that you can delegate in order to then become more strategic and become more efficient in your company. And so when you hire a marketing firm, I think you're able to have that outside perspective to be able to help coach you, ask those tough questions, and be able to have a third party that can say, we see this from a different perspective, and this is how we can help.
Okay. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, call Cass Concepts. How do we get hold of you?
Find us online. You can get us on cassconcepts.com. Look me up on LinkedIn. We can connect there at Cass Concepts. Be happy to just have the conversation.
Okay. Good to see you.
Yes, thanks.